I have now been backing Star Citizen for 12 years, and I've been covering this game here on YouTube for the past 6 years, and of course I've read and heard plenty of opinions or commentaries about Cloud Imperial Games project, but sometimes they were justified and informed, and other times they were completely missing the mark. And so that's what I want to be doing today in today's video, a little recap of the best of, or should I say the worst of, what people are saying about Star Citizen, or maybe in Star Citizen. Of course, some people will not agree, and that's totally fine. If you have something to add or something to say, please feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. As long as everybody remains respectful, it's all good and fun here. This is just a relaxed, casual little video, just so we can have a little fun. So here we go. Let's get to our video right now with number 10. The game will never come out. How many times have we heard this and read this in the past decade, sometimes from some infamous game articles, and of course in plenty of comments in YouTube videos. Yes, progress have been slow. Yes, the game was announced in 2012, but planification for Star Citizen Alpha 1.0 is now ongoing, which means that the studio, Cloud Imperial Games, is now officially working on the release of the game, so that already straight out rules out the fact that the game will never come out. They are working on it right now. Number 9, the game doesn't need any more ships. So yeah, people are saying that we already have a lot of ships, over 200 ships if we include the variants. That is a lot indeed, but at the same time I think that we can never get enough of ships. Why? That's because I think that the more ships we have, the more diverse the game is, and those ships, they can have diverse roles. They can be civilian, utilitarian, and of course combat ship. They can have different looks, different lore, and that's why I believe that the more we have, the better it is. Now we're seeing this new trend now where we're having Mark IIs or Mark IIIs of existing ships. I think that's actually a good thing. Some people are against that. I'm all for that. It's like in real life where you have some cars that get updated or new versions and new marks. Well, that's exactly going to be the same with ships. Also, I don't think that CIG will stop ever selling ships, although they did say that they would, but I think it would be quite silly because it's a big part of their revenue, and it's a business in the end, and if they have revenue, then they are going to be creating more content in the future. At least the game has more chances of never going offline, and that's something that we wish, of course, for Star Citizen. Next, at number 8, we need PvE servers. Come on, guys. Star Citizen is an open world, open universe, and of course there are going to be players who are going to be around you, players who are going to be with you, against you. I think that instead of having PvE servers, Star Citizen is going to have PvE areas, which are going to be high security areas, where if you try to engage in PvP, which is non-consensual, then you are going to have a security response that's going to be overwhelming and will prevent you from doing anything but to surrender or die. And that's where your PvP areas are going to be, versus some PvP areas like the Sparrow system, for example, which is going to be completely lawless, and if you go there, just anything goes, and you should be aware of that. Just like PvPers will be aware that when they go to high security system like the future Terra system, for example, then PvP over there might be a little too risky for them. So that's how it's going to be. Number 7, the game will be outdated at launch, and I think that the last CitizenCon proved that wrong. CIG always iterates on their game. The game already looks graphically much better than it did a couple of years ago, and as more technologies are coming in, Gen 12 for example, and eventually Vulkan, then the game is going to be looking even better with more technology that are going to be helping, like for example sun shafts, and also the new water technology. Starcloth also is going to be playing a big role for that. And of course, the new character creation is going to take character creation to the next level in Star Citizen. So I don't think the game will look outdated. I think that Cloud Imperial Games are continue to iterate on the game looks. And also, if you look at some older games that were released a long time ago, especially live service games that were released a long time ago, some of them have been graphically updated and still look quite okay today. So that's why I don't think that there's anything to worry about here. At number 6, we don't know where the money goes. I can't believe it, guys, but yes, there are still people who do believe that Chris Roberts siphons the funds of Cloud Imperial Games to buy himself some cars or some villas in the Bahamas or whatever. No, that is absolutely not true. We all know that because CIG are releasing their financial every year. They're public, anybody can have a look at them. Sometimes they're even independently audited, so we really know what's going on here and we know where the money is going. So no, we actually do know where the money goes. At number 5, non-consensual PvP is griefing. Please, guys, please, when you go into Star Citizen, you know that this is an open world and that there are going to be players around there. You should be aware that you may encounter enemies, you may encounter players who are not friendly and you just want to kill other people. It's part of what Star Citizen is. You should be more aware of that, and I think that if you play Star Citizen, you should be aware of how to avoid those areas, those places where people just come and want to shoot you down. It is what it is, unfortunately. I'm not going to justify that, but at the same time, it's also the reality, and that's the nature of the game. Number 4, it's a tech demo, it's not a game, and again, I don't think that this is true anymore. Now, yeah, a couple of years ago, it definitely was a tech demo when they released those new techs, the baby universe, the way the ships were working, and even when the planet tech was out, that's true. But since then, a lot of content has been added into the game, and you can really enjoy playing Star Citizen for hours and hours. You can set your own goals in the game and your own progression. Reputation is already in there, and although it's still in alpha stage, it's not really a tech demo. It's just a game that's in alpha stage and in which they are iterating and they add extra feature. But saying that it is a tech demo is not accurate anymore, given all the features that are now available for us to play. Next, we have number 3 and number 2. They're kind of similar here. Number 3, please, guys, it's time that we stop talking about hangars. We do not use hangars in Star Citizen. We use hangars. They almost sound the same. They almost are spelled the same, but there's a big difference. A hangar is something that you use to hang your clothes. A hangar is where we put or ships, and we don't have any hangars, although it would be really fun if one day CIG does put hangars for us to put the clothes that we have inside our ships or inside our homes. I think that it would be hilarious. And the same goes with number 2, guys. There is no such place as Lville in Star Citizen. The capital city of Hurston, the main settlement there, is called Lville, but there is no location called Lville because, well, there is no place that talks about the lore, although it would be really fun if one day Cloud Imperial Games create some kind of minor settlement or a small outpost that's actually called Lville as opposed to Lorville, so that then people are going to be really confused in game as like, you know, hey, we're going to meet in Lorville, but actually they meant Lorville and vice versa, and they cannot get to the right place. I think that CIG need to make that happen. It would be so much fun after all the confusion that people have had regarding the spelling of the major landing zone on Hurston. And finally, number 1, now let's go back to some more serious business. The game will never be finished. Kind of similar to how the game will never come out, but not exactly the same at the same time. Because yes, Star Citizen Alpha 1.0 will not be the final version promised by Cloud Imperial Games all these years ago. Instead, it's going to be a minimum viable product, but a released product nevertheless. So that's why I think that Star Citizen will actually never be finished. Yes, this time it is true, but you don't need to repeat that over and over again. We know that Star Citizen will never be finished, and actually, I believe that it's a good thing, because that means that if they've never finished Star Citizen, it means they're always going to be working on Star Citizen, and they're always going to be adding more things. Yeah, maybe we're gonna have at some point base building, maybe at some point we're gonna have 100 star systems, but you know what? Maybe they will add even more star systems. Maybe they will create new star systems for us to create. Maybe we will have new locations, new landing zones, new places every month or every quarter, even after all of the features that they announced all the way back are eventually completed, maybe in 15 or 20 years. We've seen games running for a very long time. EVE Online has been there for 21 years now and still up and running. There's no reason why Star Citizen wouldn't be able to do the same if it is successful. So there we have it, guys. 10 things that we need to stop saying about Star Citizen. Of course, if you want to do, that's totally fine. But I just wanted to talk about these 10 things that we hear very often, or that we read very often, in the comment section down below. Do you have any other thing that sometimes get a little under your skin about what people say about Star Citizen? Let me know in the comment section down below. That is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know with the comments or with a thumbs up. It really helps a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Only half of the people who watch this channel are subscribed, and it really helps with the algorithm. You can also help out on Patreon or via the YouTube Joe membership program as well for exclusive videos and also giveaways. A big shout out to Dr. Fabin, Zero Crusher, De Probability Fidel, and Ducky to Ducker. I've been Irad, and I'll see you guys in the next one.